I'm gonna give it till 5:50. Hope all you guys are good. If you're coming in, give it a like, thumbs up, share it out. If you catch it later, fine. I know most people catch it on replay. I don't always tell in advance. I have a few minutes, and I may not be on here long because I'm gonna say what I want to say. Okay, y'all. I have a weird new fetish. Oh, excuse me, burp. I do ice, and it's not beer, but the beer salt, the lime salt for beer. I put it on the ice, and then I suck on the ice. I like it. I can't explain it. So Joe told me he does something similar. He squeezes lime juice over ice and puts salt in there and maybe a little water. Like, bro, I don't know what this is. I don't know if maybe something in the old age. But I like salt and sour, so it works. Hope everybody's been doing good. A lot of strange stuff. um, Wendy, what's up, baby? How you doing? Can you hear me okay? Let me know you can hear me okay. How you doing? I'm doing ice. And I don't like beer. I just like the salt. I mean, I've had beer before, it's okay. But I like the salt on the ice. And when I mix it and then I suck on the ice, it's so weird. How's the driver? How's he doing? How's the hubby doing? Let me know how he's doing. Is he on the road or is he at home? Hey, did you ever have to move off the property or did you guys get to stay? You never told me if you had to move or you got to stay. I'm going to give it a few minutes and I'm going to talk about my subject. Chicago BBW, what's up, baby? Long time no see. How are you? And I think you're taking care of your mom. How's your mom? Okay. What do you mean word salad? Is he getting older and just having memory fog? Is that what you're talking about? In Chicago BBW, how you? How mama? Okay. And weren't you taking care of your mom too? I thought you were taking care of your mom or something like that. I might be thinking somebody else, but I think it's you. Oh, not good, Wendy. You need to get him checked out. Not good. I know for me, occasionally I'll be thinking a word. And like the other day I was thinking of what's the place called? Cracker Barrel, and I called it Marie Callender's. So I think it's a little brain fog. But then I identify Marie Callender's and Cracker Barrel to me seem to be similar as far as just the type of customers they used to have, because Cracker Barrel was kind of an old homey, food. And I don't know why, but I'll be thinking Cracker Barrels and say Marie Callender's. It's not a won't go. He gonna have to go because he's gonna realize that this gonna start affecting other stuff. He's gonna have to go because it's gonna show up at work. Some of it could just be age, but if it's something else, he could also get meds to delay it. He needs to figure that out. How old is he? Okay, so Chicago BBW are taking care of 2 people. Okay, got you. Well, I just turned 56, so yeah, that could start happening. Um, are you guys still in Chicago? Because I know you were talking about moving here to Arizona or moving elsewhere. You even talked about moving to the South. Yeah, me and yesterday I talked to. So when I lived in my other complex a long time ago, 19th Avenue, it was where I did a video. I forgot what her name was. Little female truck driver who was having some struggles, and I was sitting in. It's an old video. I was sitting in a chair. It was before I come back in. I was working for University of Phoenix. Well, my neighbor, his name is Larry. Larry is he is a former, well, he's retired now, truck driver. So we talked yesterday, and I don't know, Larry's probably about 10 years older than me, maybe. So I'm gonna say 66, something like that. He's retired from driving. He was working for his last company he worked for was First Fleet. Oh my God. Okay, well, praise prayer. And that's mama had 5 surgeries or the niece? Well, she responded. So I talked to Larry yesterday, and we had a really good talk. I mean, we just he's a black guy, truck driver, skinny guy, physically in good shape. Used to walk a lot. Very nice guy. I helped him set up some internet stuff back when he was my neighbor. Very, very nice guy. And so we've kept in touch, and he'll call and check on me, and I'll call and check on him. And so we all got gentrified out of the complex. So we all had to move out at the same time. And he had been living there a lot longer than me. And we all of us loved that complex. I mean, it was dirt cheap. It was a very tight knit neighbor group. I mean, it's not saying we ate lunch and dinner together, but we watched out for each other. If packages needed to be picked up, we did that. If you needed help with something, somebody would help you. It was it was a nice little community. And um oh, diabetes. And yes, I'm sucking on salt and salt ice. Was it diabetes for the amputation? So I talked to Larry yesterday, and we're gonna be praying for Mama and praying for Wendy's husband as well. But I talked to Mama. I mean, excuse me. I talked to Larry yesterday, and he said he's having some kidney issues, so he's looking at. I think they mentioned Forxiga, and and some other stuff, and so he was researching it and trying to think about whether he was going to do that or not. Oh, okay. What did she get, an infection? They had to amputate the leg if she didn't have diabetes? Hey, Flatbed, what's up, baby? Where you at in the world? You still in Florida? And we just chin wagging right now. I ain't gotten to the subject yet. Anyway, Larry, you start talking about he had brain fog. That's why I brought him out, Wendy. And he'd pause for words. I do the same now. As you get older, that happens. Monty, Grumpy is the same. Grumpy could do numbers off his head like nobody's business, but as he got older, he couldn't do it anymore. But I would see him sometimes shake his head, I've seen, like, I'm watching my buddy Joe and I see how he drives. He's driving slower. Um, you see the age. I went and saw another friend of mine, Vivian. She looked good and she got a rollator, so they think I should get a rollator, which is the walker that has the wheels. That's what happens as we age. So they think I should get a rollator. I'm like, I don't know that I'm on a rollator yet. I walk with a cane now. My back and my left knee are jacked up. I will see about getting the weight off if I can do that. That may help with my back. My knee will probably need to have knee surgery. And then I definitely am going to have to deal with the hernias because they're one of them is huge. The little one, though, I think it's grown a little bit because hernias, obviously, lifting things, and I'm by myself, so I still have to move things. I pull in cases of water. I have a little roller. I need to get one of those wagons. I'm going to see if I can find one on Marketplace cheap where you have the wagon where you can put the water in there and roll it to the house. Right now, I have it's kind of like a collapsible dolly, but it's not as easy to maneuver. And I think those wagons look a lot better. Linda had one and I loved it. She just came out to my car and just slid the water into the wagon, rolled the wagon to the house, and then easily you could, slide the water out of there and onto the floor and then slide it across the floor. I still have to go through some lifting with mine. So I need to change up some things, and I know that. But in my talk with Larry, he walks every day. Like I said, skinny guy for the most part, if you look at him, rather healthy. But his blood work is not so. And what I know that when we talk how he eats, he doesn't eat unhealthy. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, that wagon. But them things, when they first came out, I thought they were like $40, $50. These ninjas are asking like almost $90 to $100 some places for these things. And I think 50 was a bit much. But I've seen it on Facebook Marketplace. You can find some for like $20, but I gotta go see. I'm also, because it's cloth, I'd be really odd because I'd be scared about bed bugs and stuff. So, and I would mainly want it for outside. I just really wanted to be able to roll it from the back patio to the car and get stuff, but it also would help with laundry. So, rolling laundry from the car. Eventually, I want to get back to where they pick up my laundry because I hate going to the laundromat. And we're going to get the kids in a minute because I be wanting to beat people kids. People are weird. True. I definitely get that flatbed. I've heard the skinny fat before. So Larry, though, to my knowledge, he was a truck driver. So, and most truck drivers, you can get fat real easy being a truck driver, or you can have definitely unhealthy eating behaviors. He pretty much was at home, if not every night, every other night. So he worked for a company, First Fleet, where he only really was like, I'm going to say he ran between Arizona, New Mexico, California, and Nevada. And he delivered for Kroger. So he was home, if not, like I said, I saw him, if not every night, every other day, I would see him. Cool brother, very nice guy, and he retired from First Fleet. He was working in trucking even back when it was regulated, when they used to be union. So then when that all got deregulated, and money changed and wasn't making as much money, he ended up working for, I think, First Fleet for a long time and retired out from there. It was talking to him and just a lot of stuff he's talking about. I knew he was struggling with high blood pressure, which I didn't understand. I'm like, because again, I'm not saying there's other factors that could affect high blood pressure, but I knew he was affected. But then he told me he's also struggling with cholesterol. So just so you know, when my blood work is done, like I told you, my A1C is normally 6.2, 6.3. I'm not high. And if I do a finger stick, I'm normally between 80 and 90, which is also good. You kept physical, right? It kept you physically fit. And as a woman, that would you was doing the dang thing because it's some tough work. Larry, like I said, he's a tall guy too. I'm gonna say Larry probably might be about 6 foot. Tall guy, skinny. I mean skinny. But he told me his cholesterol is up. He told me his high blood pressure is up. You said I miss it. Only thing I miss is the travel. I don't miss the work. So I just miss, if I If the Lord, if we had time, I don't know if we got that time on this planet, but if we had time and the Lord gave me the physical capability and I had the money, I would have an RV. I would have an RV in a minute. Matter of fact, playing in the background right now is a guy in an RV. He goes out camping with his dogs. He usually goes out in a truck with a tent. He just got a new dog because his other dog died, and he likes, I think it's collies, border collies or whatever. That's what he normally gets. And he's been, somehow he just recently got this camper, this like RV, and I think they're in Australia. And I watch him sometimes. He'll be hours, and he sits and just talks about and walks the fields, and it's really just relaxing to watch him. And then he cooks something and busts out with a cigar and enjoys the rain weather. He camps in all sorts of conditions. But and now he's just gotten into the RVs. That's new. But I like the RVs. I mean, RVs. I probably could pack up everything, put it in storage, and live in an RV. Yeah, I told you, Nikki, she's going to school to become an airline pilot. She's still working trucking, and I think she's going to end up in Texas in the oil fields or whatever. Just to make money until she finishes flight school. I'm not sure of all how she's planning on doing everything. She's been doing a lot of cruises lately. So she got some of her friends who were former truck drivers who are retired. They've been doing cruises and they done introduced her to that. So she done got the cruise bug. So right now I think she's in Italy or something like that. Actually, I lived above an airline mechanic in my 20s. It was a woman. She was an airline mechanic, and she learned her skills in the military. And she worked, I don't know, I know she did aircraft and helicopters. And we would take our dogs running. She had a big old Doberman named Ace, and I had a Cocker Spaniel named Blackie. I know it's original because he was fully black. He was black, and his name was Blackie. So it's the most original I could think of. And he was annoying as hell, but he was a sweet dog. I wasn't ready for him, so I had to kind of give him away. But initially, we would take him out, and he'd run. I learned about being careful of spoiling dogs because he had bad separation anxiety because I got him when he was a puppy. And how you rear a dog and train a dog will affect their behaviors later. And I learned that with Blackie. So I was more structured with Kimba and Hillary. Although Kimba came pretty well trained. Kimba was a pretty sharp dog. Hillary was spoiled. She was sweet, but she was smart. She was just, sometimes she gonna do what she gonna do. Hillary was kind of special, and she loved her humans. I'll need another Cocker Spaniel. We'll get to that. But anyway, I talked to him yesterday, and just I'm praying for him. But he said that his doctor is looking at putting him on for Farxiga, but he's researching it because he has concerns. He don't like taking a lot of medicines, and he's concerned with the after effects. And then we were talking because we were talking about the weight loss stuff, and I told him. He said, "Yeah." He said, "He's going to ask you about the Ozempic." He said, "Because I saw something." He said, "And I thought of you." He said, "This lady went on this weight loss stuff for them shots," and he said all of a sudden she started having stomach issues. She ended up later in the hospital, and this stuff caused her to have a colonoscopy, the bag, where you poop in the bag, because she had so many issues and it was a side effect of the medicine. I said, "Oh yeah, I'm hearing a lot about the side effects." I said, my play niece works for Cancer Treatment Centers of America. She had the weight loss surgery, and we were talking about it because I was thinking about doing it, and she said, I said, one is kidney failure. I said, kidney liver failure, whichever one it is. I said, and then people talking about stomach paralysis. And then my half sister just told me that a couple of her friends just ended up in the hospital from using that crap. I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. Everybody, we all want the quick fix without the work, and sometimes it's not the best way to go. And that's kind of where I'm going. We actually have another new gym out here called EOS, which isn't far from me either. And you know what, Flatbed, when I broke my ankle and I had to go do that physical therapy, all they had me come in do is I had to ride the bike, the stationary bike. They had me do some stretches. And within those few months, I dropped 20 pounds. I was like, what the hell? Where did 20 pounds? And it was just from doing the minute work of just the stretches and riding the little bike. And the bike, the stationary bike, is not so right now, based on my physical body and my size, the treadmill is not going to be the best bet. I need something that's not as intense on my knees. Once I bring off a certain amount of weight, I could then incorporate the treadmill. The other problem is, weight training could be another part of it, but I now have the two hernias. So I think there's a band or a belt you can wrap around your stomach that will help with keeping them from stretching more. I don't know if at my size I can get them. I'm gonna have to see. But I may have to lose some weight first, get down enough, then go get those belts, and then start incorporating weight training and some other things. But you're exactly right. It has been running my mind to start slow in that vein. I'm not sure whether I'm going to do Planet Fitness or whether I'm going to do EOS. I know there are some issues going on with Planet Fitness. I'm not sure of everything, but I know they got some stuff going on. Yes, this is ice with beer salt on it. It's just ice, but I like the lime salt. I sprinkle it on the ice and suck on the ice. I know it's not healthy. Um, we'll see. So we in here about 21 minutes. Let me go into my subject. And I know most of y'all have heard about it. So first of all, prayers out to those people out in Georgia, for the people who lost the educators who were teaching the class, the children that died in that, the people who still alive. Yeah, I thought about the tricycle too. I think a stationary bike would be good for me right now, and then that might be something I do. We'll talk, because I'm in an area where that could be okay because I'm back in your neighborhood. We'll talk about it. Um, the Georgia situation, I think it hit people a little more funny because this is like, again, the school shooting. So I'm gonna talk about a little bit of how when I grew up, kids get in a fight, you get mad, you put your dukes up, you beat, win, lose, or draw. I always say I'm a win, lose, or draw sister, because may not win every fight. Okay, it might be a draw, it might get beat up, but it was it was. You stood for your ground, and normally once you fought, you was done with it. Whatever's going on now in our new society, it ain't that way. And these kids go to some mental crazy but extreme where they're now taking guns into school, shooting up people. I think the worst I remember, and again, I'm 56, and it wasn't happening here in Arizona, but on the East Coast, people would put razor blades, I guess, in their mouth and go and fight and slice somebody in the face or something. Now, I remember hearing about that. That was probably the worst that I heard of during the time frames in which I grew up. We didn't have that happening here, but I knew that was something on the East Coast, I think, that we had heard about. But even that is sick. I mean, I'm just like, what is going on mentally with you that you're that vicious? Now, I'm a proponent for something because I'm seeing something. I believe that is part of it. I totally agree that the video games are corrupting kids, but I'm going to put it, I think, let me put it like this. I'm tired of placing blame everywhere else but where the blame first needs to start. And that needs to start with the parents in the house. So, because you don't get the video games without parents' permission. If I tell you not to do something, you better not do it. If I monitor things, I should be monitoring things. But we have a generation of people who are not monitored. They go in their rooms. They on their cell phones. I watch them right now. They can't even walk across the street. I'm in my building. There's people that when I'm at my job, and I watch the people. I call them the 40 and unders, and especially the 30 and unders. They can't walk down the hallway without they looking down at their phone and just steady walking. Don't know what's in front of them. I've seen them cross the street and don't be looking. So looking at their phone, and almost this weird, I dare you to hit me. And my thing is that, are you that comfortable and that trusting that person behind the wheel is not going to run you over? Yes, nothing. They can't do anything without the phone in their hand. They can't. That I can put my phone in my pocket and walk to the grocery store. Now sometimes I'll play music or something like that, or sometimes if I don't want to hear what's going on around me, or I'm listening to a video, I can put it down in my cart and I'll just walk around listening and walk around the store. Because sometimes I listen to stuff and I be laughing, go, "Ooh, Jesus," to all the madness going on. But my biggest issue is accountability. And I'm seeing a society now in a lot of areas of life where we want to place blame and not take accountability. Tell a quick story. When I was telling Grumpy about the childhood damages that happened under my mother and the pervy stepfather, my father said to me, "Well, if you would have told your grandfather," meaning my mother's father, that Tony was doing this perverted stuff, he would have killed Tony. I had to stop because my grandfather is not my biological father. You are. And again, that's accountability, because I'm not accountable for anything. I don't want to be accountable for anything. So I want to place the accountability somewhere else. I want to place the blame somewhere else. I don't want to be accountable for it. But you laid down and popped out a kid. Therefore, you are responsible for the child, the mama and the daddy. So I'm going to probably be very extreme on my views. Right now, I guess the father of this boy, first of all, both of them is crazy. Flatbed. My God. And you know, you don't want to get to a point where you say some people should be what do they do with neutered and spayed like dogs? God forgive me. You really don't want to do that. It's so mean. But in interacting with people and seeing some of the things and how people are, and even coming from what I come from, you know, granted, it's what God used to get me here. But some folks, I'm with you. They should not. I know you serious, because I got, child, I'm not mad at you. That's all I can tell you. I can tell you stories from just people around me that, to me, I got a friend of mine right now. He has a niece who has popped out a lot of different babies. She ain't raised not a one. As my grandma used to say, not a nan one. Get country with it. Not one. The state has stepped in multiple times to take her children between Arizona and California. One of her children I know is being raised by the father's parents of the child. Let's see, how many are here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of the ones here have been through the system and have been raised between my friend and his crazy sister, which is her mama. And they just a hot butt mess, okay? Then she got some more kids splattered in California somewhere that are in the system as well. And she's dropping kids everywhere with and her kids are crazy. So crazy is producing extra crazy. And the kids, in a sense, unfortunately can't help but be crazy because they grew up in craziness and they didn't grow up in the stability. So all you're doing is reproducing crazy. Point blank, period. So in Georgia, that's what I've watched. I don't know everything, but I'm just going to go on what I've watched so far. The father goes and buys his son an AK-47. I think this baby is 14 years old. Why? And the son, prior, they state that law enforcement, I think it was FBI, one of them, popped up at their house and talked to crazy daddy. Well, all the guns in the house is locked up, and I would be mad if no, and hell no. Matter of fact, because we see these threats, your guns are gone, sir. We're confiscating now. But I am so in agreement that daddy needs to be tried. Now, these kids going into these schools, shooting up folks, and the ones that parents weren't tried, I think they need to be tried too. And God forgive me, here's my thought process. You popped it out. You're responsible for it. It's under the age of 18. You need to know what the hell it's doing. You know if your child is crazy or not. But then a lot of times if you crazy, it's kind of like, I forgot what the school was where the little boy went in there and shut up the school, and the mama laughed and sent him a text talking about next time don't get caught. And then he went in there and finally did go shoot up a whole bunch of folks. And now her and her husband is on, they also were sentenced. Absolutely. I'm here in the state of Arizona. You have a child and you going shopping and you leave your child in a car and it's 100 and some degrees outside. I'm feeling handcuffs for you. I am. And if the child dies, I feel like it's manslaughter. You opened your legs, you popped out a child, and if everything in your focus is not your child, maybe we have to enforce laws that'll make you realize either you want to raise it or you want to put it up for adoption. Point blank, period. I'm not understanding. And the thing is that we have now justified crazy children. And we'll say, oh, it's the video game. Oh, it's the this. Oh, it's what they're watching. You're a child. You are to be parented. You are to be groomed. You are to be reared and raised. You don't just watch what the hell you want to watch. You don't just play the video games you want to play. And I'll be honest, I'm one of these people, my child wouldn't even have a cell phone. Point blank, period. You go to school, you go home. If there's an issue, you call me. The school can call me. It's right now, they sitting up here fighting, well, parents are like upset because the kids can't use a cell phone. I've sat around parents who have called their kids during the day to go, oh, what you want for dinner? While they in school. Your job is to be learning. And they don't get to choose what the hell they want for dinner. This is what we eating for dinner. Right now, we got a bunch of kids running the world. They running parents, and the parent or not even interacting with their parents. They existing and doing whatever the hell they want to do. Parents aren't raising the children. So are we shocked that Cray Cray goes in and shoots up a whole bunch of posts? Are we getting kids AK-47s? What the hell? Who does that? I'm sitting up here going, my God. And my biggest problem, 100% my largest problem, parents not rearing children. The lady that raised me was abusive for what she did. Hey, Kathy W., what's up? No time, no see. How you doing? Hot in Dallas? I think Dallas. I think you're Dallas. I know you Texas. I think it's Dallas. Let me know if I'm right. My biggest problem, though, is these parents not raising kids and no accountability. And when they go in here and shoot up these schools, I don't just think it's the guy who buys an AK-47. I think it's the parent who, even if they don't buy guns and their kid go in and shoot up, you know your kid got some issues. This ain't, you're not surprised. I got issues also, and again, coming from that, women who can bring these pervy butt men into the lives of children. They rape boys and girls. Or molesting the kids. I just listened to something. I think his name was Lecrae. Yeah, this lady on, I forgot her name. Nona somebody. I don't know, Nona Jones, I think. I don't know who she is. Y'all might be more familiar with her. She looked familiar, but I don't know nothing about her. What's your temperature? I know we still in the hundreds here. We still in the hundreds because it was hot as hell. I went out today to go to Olive Garden for a late lunch, and then I went to the grocery store, and I just came back home and did this video. And after I get off here, I got homework. Nora, yeah, I don't know who she is. Her name is Nona, not Nora Jones. I think it's Nona, Nona Jones. Look for Lecrae. He's a Christian hip hop guy, and she was talking. And I've never listened to his music. I know who he is, but I just never was into his music. But I know who he is. And he does something called I think it's the B-side or something. He does like a podcast, and he interviews various people, mainly dealing with Christianity. But he interviewed her, and she was talking about her childhood, another molest victim. She talked about how her mama, when she later told her mama that this dude she brought in the house was raping her, that the mama did call the police. They took him to jail, and then as soon as this ninja gets out of jail, she brings him back in the house, and the mama also becomes abusive to her. Mama needs to go to jail. Both of them ninjas need to go to jail. You brought that in there, and again, if you're not wanting your child, why put the child in a detrimental situation because you're crazy? But a lot of times people don't know they're crazy. That's the other problem. I always use this saying, their dysfunction becomes their function. It's their normal. But there is a point in which if you don't want your child, I hate to say it, I don't know if it's going to take a government type of law that if you're not going to rear the child right, give them up for adoption, and at least give them a better chance than you screwing them up royally. Um, and also, especially when it comes to this gun violence and going into schools and killing people, I am huge that the parent is just as accountable as the child, regardless of whether they buy the gun or not, because you know your child has issues. And if you don't know, that in and of itself is a problem also. I watched, this is a while back, almost a year ago, and I don't know, it was like a feed, and they had went to this woman's house, and her son had been making threats about a school, doing school violence and stuff. So the police, they FBI police had this all recorded off of his Facebook or whatever. So they showed up at the house and they came to get him. They got to haul him off. And the mama screaming at them, and no, my son would never, and da da da. Ma'am, we got proof. She'll not, and I'm telling you right now, she'll know nothing about that boy. Boy probably come in the house, don't even eat at the table. Don't eat at the table. Parents don't know him. They go in the room. It's the way of the world today. There's no, the family structure unit of sitting at a table and eating with your children, it doesn't exist. Hell, you can see that in the grocery store. When I go in the grocery store and I watch kids, the mama gives them a phone or a tablet. And the kid is on there playing with the phone or a tablet. But they can't pay attention. They don't understand stuff. They're going to do what the hell they want. There's no discipline. It's craziness. And that's why when they finally get into school and teachers are supposed to be training them, and these crazy butt parents are like, oh no, my phone, I want my kid to, so I can be in communication. And now they're trying to say, well, what if these emergencies happen in the classrooms? Well, they're implementing things from the teachers wearing these things around their neck. Maybe they need to get that to the dang kids too. And they push a button, and then it activates for a shooter, that what they call an active shooter scenario, and then they go into certain protocol. It's sad that they have to practice this, but at the same time, I'm sorry, the cell phone thing, I can't justify it for that, because you're not learning. Instead, you on your phone disrespecting your teacher and your classmates. You ain't paying attention, and the sorry crazy parents want to justify that. And parents are part of the problem. Like I said, I've seen them. They call, what you want to eat for dinner? What I've worked with them. I've worked with these crazy parents. I work with one. Well, ask Sally what she gonna wear tomorrow for school. Why are you calling to do all that? That's totally unnecessary. And it's this giving a kid a lot of decision making capability, and it's a kid. You make the decision and tell the kid what the kid the hell gonna do. Tell Johnny to put on them black jeans and that shirt in that closet. And actually, I shouldn't even tell you that. That should already be set up. You should know how to appropriately go to school. I just seen some really, and I call them titty fed kids. We can't. And I'm sorry, I am a proponent that if a child goes into a school or does any kind of mass shootings or then mommy and daddy are just as responsible. I'm sorry, especially on the mass shootings. The ones that end up in the street, run away from home, that kind of thing, that might be a little bit different. The scenarios to me may be different. It depends on what's going on. But that also can result in some, oh, okay, you don't want to stay at home. But normally when you see kids run away from home, there's some things going on in the home. So that's when the home needs to be investigated, because normally there's some other weird abuses that are going on in that home. Um, so I know that for a fact. I've had friends that I've met and their parents were drug addicts, crackheads and stuff like that. And they ended up running away in order to live in a different house, or they had an abusive parent, violence in the household, violence with a parent, or a molest or rape. So I do know that that also plays a different factor. Um, but when you have the ones that are at home and it's supposed to be a normal, somewhat normal, and they go in and shoot up a whole bunch of folks, everybody need to go to jail. And then again, if we do have abuse, molest, all that, folks need to go to jail. Lock them up. I looked at that and I think it hit funny. And I don't think I'm the only one that hit funny. I think people are looking at that like, this kid's 14 years old and his dad bought him an AK-47. Yeah, something the hell is wrong. Something's wrong with our society where that's normal. I already have a problem with the AK-47. I don't think it's something that people should be buying. I am a proponent that we have the right to guns. I'm not somebody gonna say, oh no, you can't buy guns. But I do think certain guns are not meant for the public. AK-47, not one of those. And I dang sure believe that certain guns are not meant for children. I know in certain parts of the country, kids hunt with their parents. They learn to hunt. They may be part of a sports group where they do shooting, which usually ties to hunting. I get that because you can have that with that, or you can have people who do bow and arrow, and it's kind of a sport. I get that. But you better know who the hell your kid is for that. And you also need to have a way to make sure that those things are locked up in case your kid flips the hell out or they bring a friend home. A child should not have access to that. The two pervy and crazy parents I had, they had a gun in the house. They kept it up in the bedroom, in my mother's closet, and it was locked up. It was locked in a lockbox. I'm not understanding. That's all I can tell you. I'm not understanding. And I'm hearing so much now. Like I said, the one thing that got me was when I heard parents, even with the phone situation, oh, we want our kids so that when these, no. If your kid can't listen to the teacher and put the dang phone away, they give them pouches where they have to lock up the phone, which I think that's freaking ridiculous. Put the phone in your pocket. If I see the phone come out, you're suspended. I think it's freaking ridiculous. And if you don't want an education and the phone is more important, go on with the phone. Right now I'm in a job. Folks cannot sit at their desk and do their core job without having a cell phone. It's and I don't believe in it. I believe your phone should be off. That's one of the things my last company. Y'all, am I bad? I thought I was plugged in. Y'all, hold on. Let me make sure I'm plugged in. Am I plugged in? I thought I was plugged in. Y'all, I might not be plugged in. We might be in this soon. Yep, we're gonna have to end soon. But because I thought I was plugged in, but I'm not. Oh well, that's just meant I ain't supposed to be on here that long. Oh yeah, it did unplug, didn't it? I see it now. It ain't plugged in. But yeah, I just believe that what I've seen is a lack of accountability from parents. And I do believe, and there's some people want to debate it. I don't think it's a debate. If a child goes into a school and does a mass shooting, mommy and daddy are responsible too. Yes. And mommy and daddy need to be probably put away as well. And I know that seems crude, but that individual under 18 years old, 17 and under, is your responsibility. You should know what they're doing, where they're going, what they're up to, and a lot of it on how children are have to do with how they're reared or not reared. And what we have today is a bunch of either titty-fed kids that ain't reared, mama doing everything for them, and then you don't know what the hell they doing. They doing all sorts of manners. We ain't gonna have no video game problems if I was parenting, because you ain't gonna have one. No. And probably the only way you're gonna get to one is probably at your friend's house, and I might have a problem with that. I say don't play it, don't play it. You're not gonna have a phone. No. Not until a certain age. I'm seeing 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds. No. Why? Why? No. And now we got crazy. And they can research and look up how to be crazy from other crazies. And they idolize crazy. Parents' responsibility is to rear your children. The cell phone shouldn't rear them. The video game shouldn't rear them. You rear them. The television. Parents used to monitor what their kids watch. You sit at a dinner table and you ate dinner as a family. That way, you can find out what the hell is going on with your child. Now children go and they put something together and go in a room and you don't even see each other. No, ma'am, no, sir. and then you don't know who the hell your child is, and then they go into a school and kill a bunch of people, and you sitting there looking stupid. Or you had signs of it, but you ain't doing nothing because you think it's funny or whatever. Everybody need to be going to jail. Everybody need to be locked up. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get my butt off of here because I'm tired and I have to, and my battery's going low. I may try to be on here next Saturday, just Saturday or Sunday. Look out. I was going to try to be on here yesterday, but I woke up late. Today I woke up late. I'm tired. Prayers for Wendy and the husband with the brain fog. He need to get that checked out. Prayers for Chicago BBW and whatever's going on as far as your mom's amputee leg. Prayerfully that'll be healed, and what's going on with your niece. I think he said a niece. Flatbed, hang in there. Let me know how school goes. I'm still in school. Actually, I got a paper I think due tonight, and I really don't feel like doing it. What else? What else? Thinking. And Kathy, don't even rub my face in your 80 degrees because it's hot as hell here in Arizona. I think they said we've been over 100 days at 100 some degrees weather. But yeah, I'm gonna get off of here, y'all. Anybody watch this later, comment below. I'll probably have another subject next week. We're gonna talk about maybe talk about the black jobs. We haven't seen the debate yet. I want to know what that's gonna be like. I'm finding it entertaining, y'all. I find oh boy entertaining. I do. I sit there and every time I just go, ooh Jesus. But anyway, y'all be safe. Make him go get checked out, Wendy. And y'all be safe 2 and 2. Peace.